Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today is day 8 of series 16, 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Today's sketch is by Deb Tallbroad. So I will have her sketch up in just a moment when I get started on the layouts. I plan on creating 2 separate layouts again, but I'm going to use the left side for one, the right side for the other one. So the left side is going to be first, and then I will do the right side layout. So just like I did before, I will show a few close-ups of the first layout, and then I will continue on to the second layout, and then I will show close-ups at the end of the layout, plus I will show the entire layout in a photo. Hopefully that made sense. Here's the pieces that I plan on using for the layout. These are mainly 49 and Market embellishments. Actually, they're all in 49 and Market embellishments from, what is that one called? I used it before. The Spice. It's not Plum Spice. It's a different one. It's Spice something. But it's a fall collection that was purple based. And the reason I'm using it is my son is actually wearing a purple shirt in these photos. So it was the perfect fall, complementing collection that I had in my stash. And of course I bought it for these photos, but have I done them yet? No. I believe he was 4 or 5 in these photos. So definitely time to get them done. He's 12. So I have rubons, which I'm going to use a lot of rubons, and not this one here. This one here, I'm going to use the mixed media one and the leaf flower one. I'm going to use mainly. But I do get quite a few rub-ons used up, which is fine because, again, they've been in my stash for a while. And some rub-ons do have a shelf life that they don't last very long. But 49 and Market rub-ons are amazing. I love 49 and Market rub-ons. So those definitely are going to get used. And then I was just showing you the 6x8 papers that I have picked out. This here is a scrap. I'm going to use it to mat the photos on one of the layouts. And then this paper here actually ends up not making it on the layout in the end. There's a wood grain that I didn't show that will come into play, and I will use that instead. This one here I chose not to use either, which had the purple pumpkins on it. Just the colors didn't really match his jacket, so I decided not to use it. This one here I'm going to use as the background on the very first layout I create, which is here. I already inked up the edges of it. I'm inking up the edges of the photo mats, and I'm going to get ready to mat them, and then I will scuff up the edge of the blue paper, I believe. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I fast forwarded it, but I kind of kept it in there. Went ahead and skipped over the second one. I did it the same way. They're both matted exactly the same way. I used the scrap white paper, and then I used the blue 49 and Market scrap that I had on my desk from the previous layout I created yesterday, actually. It's the darker blue color, and it matches his jacket perfectly. So since it was still sitting on my desk, I hadn't cleaned up yet. I cleaned up most of it, but that piece didn't get put away since it was 49 and Market. So I went ahead and used it on here. Now I don't have to put it away. This, I'm trying to make it into one big cluster so that I can move it off of the layout, and then I'm going to start doing the rub-ons. So I went ahead and used a pencil and just went around the edge, kind of on the inner edge. I tried to keep it where it would be underneath when I lay the photos back down. You can kind of sort of see the pencil marks if you're looking for it, but I'm not too worried about it. You can't erase pencil marks once you put rub-ons down, because you can actually erase the rub-on. So it's just going to have to stay. And I'm okay with it. It's, like I said, it's very minimal. You can't see it very well. So here I'm going to lay all the rub-ons all the way around the outside. So it took me a good 30 minutes or so just to put rub-ons on. So I'm definitely speeding it up and just showing you how I'm doing it. And basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting the rub-ons apart. So the ones you see right there by my arm on the right hand side are the only ones that I have that match with this layout. So I wanted to make sure I had enough to go all the way around and spread the color around. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just cutting off whatever you're going to be able to see, and then the other part I'm saving to use someplace else. So I'll just keep doing that all the way around. It was easier if I put the cluster back on and then kind of moved it. At first I was just trying to use the pencil line to do it, but it's kind of hard to tell because you don't want orange by orange and yellow by yellow if you can avoid it. So that's the reason I brought it back in. And then the places where it looks like there's not a rub-on at all, those are actually the white rub-ons. And you can see those in real life. They actually look more cream than white, and they don't blend in with the background as much as they do on camera, just so you know. And so here, just keep rubbing them on. And that's what I mean by these rub-ons are amazing, is I'm not even using a tool to rub them on. I'm just laying them down on the paper and then just rubbing with my fingernail, and they take really good. So I just go ahead and do that all the way around. I'm going to add these little leaves in for the last little touch, and then I'm going to lay my cluster down, and pretty much that's it. Like, it was a great layout. Like, it took a while to do it, but it was fairly simple, and I layered it up, and it pretty much is laid out the exact same way as the left hand side, with the exception of she had the embellishments in a diagonal. I guess my embellishments are still in a diagonal, but they're going from the bottom left to the top right, where hers were going from the top left down to the bottom right, including the second page. So I guess it's still the general idea, and definitely was inspired by her layout to create this one by using these 5 photos that I'm going to be using. So here I'm bringing in the bookish sequins again. They're perfect for fall, with a little bit of orange and tan, and there is green in there also, but I'm not pulling in the green. I'm just pulling in the tan, the gold, and the orange. And so lay those out. I'll hold it up, show a little bit of a close-up here, and then I'll show you a couple of close-up photos. And I just love the way that the rub-ons look on this layout. It really turned out really great. I like it a lot. And it's just cute photos of him playing with like a machinery type thing in the playground area of this farm. And the first ones are actually of him feeding goats. But this one here is he's playing on little machinery that's, like I said, in a play area type area that the kids can go play. And so this one here, this is the second layout now, and this one is going to be a landscape layout, so it's going to be 11 by 8.5, and I'm okay with that. It'll probably in the album go exactly like this. It'll be right next to this other layout, and I'm fine with it that one goes portrait and one goes landscape. And again, I'm using more rub-ons. I haven't attached anything down yet. I just start rubbing rub-ons on. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to attach it down yet, or if I wanted to move the photo and then start attaching rub-ons down, or what I was doing yet. So that's why I didn't attach it down. But here in a minute, I'll go ahead and just attach it down, and then I'll just lift it up if I have to put the rub-on underneath it slightly as I rub it on. But again, these were fairly easy to use, just like the ones on the other layout. I just used my fingernail to rub them on and then pull them back up. And if you pull it up and it's not all the way, pressed down, then just place it right back down and rub it again. And I just love rub-ons. I've always loved rub-ons, and I'm so glad that 49 Market has brought them back out, and that they're really good quality. They're amazing rub-ons, again, that we can use on layouts. So here I'm going to popped the leaf up at the top, but not at the bottom. So I just tucked it in underneath the photo. And I didn't want to pop up any of the photos or anything on this layout or the other one because it's all 49 and market paper that I use to mat the photos, and their paper is very thick. So even though it only has like 2 or 3 mats of paper, it's very thick. So I'm not going to pop it up on any kind of play foam. And I was cutting these rub-ons to make them a little bit smaller so I could tuck that leaf in there and rub it directly on the photo. And I'm okay with that because these are digital photos, so they're on my computer. They're saved onto a drive. They're very much backed up and can be reprinted. And these ones on the wood grain, you can't really see on camera as well, but in person and definitely in the close-ups, you'll notice that you can see the rub-ons. The rub-ons are totally fine. And you can see the colors. It's not very, I guess vibrant, but you definitely can see that there's a leaf or something on the background. And I just like the detail that it adds, so I went ahead and added them. Here I'm going to put this piece on this side, and I want to make sure it goes directly across. This part is not in the layout. The 2 end pieces, I added that in myself. But again, sketches are just jumping off points, and I like, doing my own thing with them also. So here I'm going to mat these 2 smaller photos, and I cut these down from 2x3 to even a little bit smaller. I think they're 2.5. They're not quite square. They're almost square, so they're probably 2.5x2, I think. And then the frame I cut in half, so I could use half on one side, half on the other side. And then this little ticket, I'm going to tuck in on this side, just like I did on the other side. And then I have this little circle that says good day. And then a little leaf that's going to go up here. And a little heart that I tucked in just because he's my sweet little boy, so I want to tuck a little heart in. This one here, I couldn't decide where it was going to go, so I keep moving it around until I find the right place. And then, and again, just did the same thing. I cut them up to use, in multiple places. If it's hiding underneath something, I don't want to waste the rub-on. I would rather just use it someplace else. So I'm going to add a little bit of green over on this side. And I had to fix that one because for some reason it pulled up, but it was easy to fix. I just fixed it there. And then this one over here. And then I'll do the same thing. I'm going to add some leaves onto the wood grain paper and let them poke out of the photo, and then go down to the bottom, and I'll add another piece at the bottom. And it looks like, the leaf is going from top to bottom basically. And I like the way that looks. So I'll move it on here in a minute. And I'm going to add another one at the top, I believe. Oh, I'm going to add one here in the middle first, between the 2. And this just basically connects the photos and the clusters together. And I usually always like everything touching in some way, even if it's just a little bit of touching here or there. And that's what this one does, is it's touching just a little bit right there in the middle with the rub-on. And then I'm going to add these little purple flower or leaves over here. And basically I was trying to use up the ones that I had already cut or that matched color-wise. I do end up placing the 2 that are at the top. I don't add those on the layout. This one here is going to be the last one. It needs a little bit more pink on this side, at least under the photo, like pinkish purple. And then I have 2 different mixes of sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps that I'm going to add on this one. And these are plum royal. And that's a way older mix. But again, I have tons of stash of sequins, so I like to pull them out and use them up. And, I love having a good mix of different ones. And Spiegelmom Scraps has amazing mixes. So I haven't received my October ones just yet, But once I do, they are amazing. Go buy the October sequins. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on the October sequins. So here I'm going to add a couple more, or I already did. The green and blue, which is Dink. That's a play on pickleball, I guess. I don't play pickleball, but that's where that color came from. But it was perfect for this because I needed a little bit more color. The photos have green in it because of the machinery thing that he's sitting on, digging up dirt. So I definitely wanted this little pop of green. And it's a brighter green, just like the sequins. So that was perfect. I'm just going to glue those down, and then I'm almost done. I am going to add gold letters at the bottom that say Pumpkin Fun. And the reason I went with Pumpkin Fun is because my son would always call it the Pumpkin Fun instead of Pumpkin Patch, because he remembered there was pumpkins there and we always have fun there. So he thought it was called Pumpkin Fun. So I thought that was kind of cute. So I went ahead and used that as the title, because once again, I have tons of layouts that are called Pumpkin Patch. So I just went with something else that, will remind me, oh yeah, he used to call that Pumpkin Fun. So here I'm just adding the letters down, and these are a newer gold letter. I can't remember what collection these came out with. I just recently got them. I believe they're still available online. I really like them, except for when you're pulling them off the sheet, make sure you don't bend them, because they kind of bend a little bit easy and then you'll see a line on there. But it's okay. I think they'll be all right. And I went ahead and add bookish, just the gold sequins also at the end. I added those in the last minute. And then here's a few more close-ups of the layouts. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!